Good afternoon, Prescott, and we're on with the KYCA PM show. This is Pat Kuykendall live from the 500 Henry Street KYCA KNOT studios on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Scotty, what's the weather over there?
Well, Pat, it's a wee bit smoky out right now. That is a prescribed burn, and it is under control. We're expecting that to go until about dark tonight. We expect temperatures the next couple days in the 80s, and it's a beautiful time to be a resident of Prescott.
Has anybody seen Steve Blair? Because, he's been gone for like a week. Has there been any Blair sightings?
I haven't seen anything of him. I think he's having too much fun.
Well, now where's he at? Didn't he go to Italy or something too?
Yeah, he said he couldn't be here last Friday because he was going to be in Italy, but he never said he was planning on leaving Italy.
Well, I think we only got him a one-way trip ticket, and I'm covering Friday with him, and he won't be here, so.
He's doing that ocean fishing.
There you go. Well, that's good stuff. So, hey, Prescott, we just want to do a big shout-out for the 100 Men Who Care last week. Raised $15,000 for 3 volunteer fire departments, and what a great job by the 100 Men Who Care, who's always doing good work in the communities. And so today's show is going to be a little exciting. We've got the American Legion group, and then we've also got a mission trip by Trinity Christian School.
Yes.
All right, so you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Mrs. Seidman, Magistra Seidman, and I have with me Reagan Bonney, one of my top students.
Uh-oh. Top student. That's a lot to fulfill there. Good deal. So we'll be talking to you about some trips and coming up, and this is going to just be an open show, and then we've got the American Legion. Sandra, do you want to introduce your team?
How do I speak into that?
Yeah,
Can you
or just the microphone?
Yeah, I'm Sandra Tavares. I'm the director of the American Legion Riders at American Legion Post 6, and I have with me our road captain, Kurt Bancroft, and we are on a mission on a ride that matters.
Cool. What's up, Stitch?
How you doing, Pat?
Man, we're blessed, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
And then we have our former city attorney, live and well. How's the retired life, John?
Busy. I'm here on behalf of the Arizona Patriot Guard Riders to talk about Memorial Day at Prescott National Cemetery.
Amen. And then we've also got the one over at the other cemetery across from Yavapai College. So I hope somebody briefs on that. I didn't have them on the show this year. Usually Barb Fox or McAtee from the Yavapai County comes on, but we didn't have them this year. So
they're at 9 a.m. and the ceremony at Prescott National Cemetery is 11.
All right. So, John, why don't you go ahead and kick it off talking about the Patriot Guard Riders and what the Patriot Guard Riders do and what events you've got coming up, not only with Memorial Day, but across the board.
Well, other than Memorial Day, our primary mission is to do flag lines and funeral escorts for deceased veterans and first responders.
And that's here in Prescott or all
statewide.
Northern Arizona?
Well, actually, it's national, but we do it statewide.
Wow. And how many services have you done, let's say, already in 2025?
About 300-400. Oh, no, in 2025?
Yes.
This is maybe about 150, 200.
Already this year?
Yeah.
Wow. You guys are busy.
Yep.
So what do you got coming up for Memorial Day?
So we're partnering with, we're assisting the National Cemetery Administration in Memorial Day ceremonies at Prescott National Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
The first event, if you want to call it an event, is this coming Friday at 9 a.m. is when we're asking the public to come out and help place flags. We have over 3,100 flags we have to place at all the grave sites at Prescott National Cemetery.
So that's kind of like wreaths across America, except we're
There's
doing
flags
flags
instead of wreaths.
Right.
And then Monday, Memorial Day, is when the actual ceremony is taking place at Prescott National Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
There will be no parking at the cemetery on Memorial Day. Anyone wanting to come has to go and park at Yavapai Community College, and we'll have free shuttles running from the college to Prescott National Cemetery starting at 9 a.m., and the last shuttle leaves at 10:30.
That's really a smart move, and we did that with Akronite this year, is use the Yavapai College parking lot because of in and out egress.
Yeah.
And it makes it a lot better than using the VA because the VA gets pretty congested down there.
Up until 2 years ago, we used to use the VA,
Mm-hmm.
park at the VA, and then shuttle over from there.
Mm-hmm.
But they have other things going on.
Mhm.
So last 2 years, we've been using Yavapai Community College.
Oh, wow. Is that right there in front of YPAC, the Jim Lee Performance Hall?
Yeah, when you turn in, there'll be signs for parking.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about the Prescott National Cemetery event. How many years has that been going on? Any idea? Told you I was going to throw you a
A
hardball.
lot of years. Back when I had black hair.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So a long time.
And you had more hair?
Yeah, that's. I'm going down.
Yeah. No, it's been a number of years. For the past about 8 years, the
Mhm.
Patriot Guard Riders has been partnering with the National Cemetery Administration to help them out. PGR will have a flag line there. Patriot Guard Riders will also be handling traffic control at the cemetery.
Right. Wow. And what can the public, so to help on Friday, where would you like the public to park, and what time do they need to be there? You said 9?
On Friday, be there at 9, and they can park at the cemetery at 9
Okay.
on Friday.
Okay.
And to park up on top, because the flags will be up on top.
Okay.
And then we'll be taking down the flags Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.
Okay. So they stay up all weekend.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Friday-
Okay.
Friday
One day,
morning
24
to
hours. Okay.
Tuesday.
I keep thinking, holiday weekend. It's a weekend, not
It's a
not a
long
Monday.
weekend.
It's a long weekend. That's
And then
outstanding.
on Tuesday, for taking down the flags, again, they can park at Prescott National Cemetery on Tuesday.
Right.
But it's just on Memorial Day they can't park there.
Tell you what, John, let's just go a little bit back over your history. You're with the city of Prescott. You're also a veteran. Just talk a little bit how you got to where you are now and what your passion is.
Serving veterans.
Right?
And that's why I'm the Assistant State Captain of the Patriot Guard Riders and devoting most of my time to the Patriot Guard Riders. A little bit of my time to the American Legion, but most of my time to the Patriot Guard Riders.
Okay. And what years were you with the city of Prescott as a city attorney?
I think it was 89 to 06.
Okay.
I retired in 06.
Okay. And your military service?
Army, 67 to 70.
All right. Good deal. We'll come back to you.
Okay.
Sandra. Ernest A. Love, American Legion Post 6 is in the house.
Yeah. Can I just say, I also ride with the Patriot Guard Riders
PGR?
occasionally. I have a bike that I ride
Sandra's
flags
one
on.
of our honor flag bikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this man works hard.
Oh, he does. Well, he
You
worked hard when he
know,
was with
for
the
no
city.
pay, he works hard. All the guys do. They all show up. A lot of guys come up from the valley when we have escorts. We drive to Flagstaff
Right?
for ceremonies and stuff. So I watch them work really hard. I can't make every one of them, but they work hard. I'm very proud to be a part of them.
Sure. Okay, so you guys have an event coming up, but let's go back into Ernest A. Love Post. You're also the bar manager, and you do so much there. When did you come to Prescott, and how did you get so active in our veteran community?
I came here 3 years ago. It was time to get out of the big city, and after a divorce, I needed to sell my big house, but you can't ever, rebuy in the town you sell. So I heard about this town here in Prescott, so I came to look one day, and I found this beautiful home, and I bought it. And I'd been here for 3 years, and I decided to get involved with the American Legion. My whole family is military. My dad, my brothers, one of my brothers, Chief Warrant Officer 5. And my son was in the Army, and he passed away in 2020 while active duty on foreign land in a freak accident. And I was kind of lost and roaming around. I had just moved here. I bought my house. A month later, my son died. And so I knew nobody, and I was just lost. And I knew that I felt comfortable around the military, and because that's all I've ever known. So I decided to, with a couple of encouragement, Rusty, one of our members, and another friend encouraged me to come check out the American Legion. So I did, and I walked in, and it was rough at first, but I found my family, And in fact, I just got married last weekend, and Kurt here, he walked me down the aisle because he kind of became a father figure to me. He's not much older than me, but he always checked in on me and made sure I was okay. He would call me when he wouldn't see me, and and his wife is my sister.
Well, that's kind of,
That's kind of freaky.
but that's the camaraderie. Not only with veterans, with family members, we look out for each other. I mean, that's just the tradition. Just like police officers, firefighters, school
Exactly.
teachers, people look out for each other. The people they trust, and that's what you found. And congratulations on your recent marriage. But I think that's where people get comfortable. We're comfortable with John. We've known him for a long time, and you just find your niche, not Stitch. We find our niche, and we move forward.
Yeah, and you really, you have to take the step to do it, because I could have just stayed in my house and stayed alone and miserable, but you have to, for anybody that's feeling lonely, you have to step out and go join something, and eventually it'll click and you'll find your people. And it's been amazing for me. And so I was there for probably a year before I got involved and became the secretary of the writers, and then last year they voted me in as the director, and we just had our nominations for this year, and they asked me to stay, surprisingly, as the director. And then I needed to have a job too, so I started becoming a bartender and became the bar manager. And so I love planning events, so I plan a lot of events at our post.
Well, and that's what we need to talk about. And I've been honored to be a member of American Legion, Earnestly Love American Legion Post for a long time. But whether you're a veteran, whether you're a family member, that post is our post.
Yes.
It's also to the non-veterans, to those you can rent
It is, yes.
And, everybody knows somebody that has served or possibly has a relative.
Correct.
And that's what we try to do, is make it more of a family atmosphere.
Yes.
And, we try to promote it. If you're a small business in town and you need a place to have a small party, you're on a limited
Yes.
budget, come look at the American Legion. What a great
Yep.
parking, great facility. A lot of great things go on there.
Yeah, and it's real close to town. And we do a lot of events that you can come to. All our breakfasts, every Sunday there's a breakfast for $10. You don't have to be a member to come. And we have bingo on Saturday, and we have a lot of different things going on. And actually for Memorial Day, just to put the plug in because it just happened today, there is a barbecue at the post. It's $5 for burgers and a side, and it starts at noon, and there will be live music from 1 to 4. So if you want to come celebrate Memorial Day, you can come to Earnestly Love.
There
We're
you
the
go.
Love Post.
Well, we're going to take a call. John Murphy. And John, I owe you like 3 phone calls and 2 letters and 6 emails. How you doing, John?
Hey, how you doing, Pat?
Man, I owe you so much. You've texted me and I haven't returned. But I will. And I'm going to get you on a show coming up soon. What's going on with you? You're coming in a little broken, John. Earth to John. Okay, no, John, call back in, and we'll get you back in as soon as you call in. So you guys and Stitch, go ahead and let's hear a little bit about your story and how long have you been in Prescott?
I've been in Prescott since 18, but I got involved with the Veterans Affairs through the Patriot Guard back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Big change in my life to be able to give back to the veterans. My dad was a Iwo Jima vet. I was not a vet, but so I am a son, which is one of the families of the American Legion.
Right.
And I've been with the American Legion since 18, since I've moved here.
Tell you what, Stitch, we're going to go ahead and take a break. Our first break. The phone lines are open, 928-541-1016. We'll be right back on the KYCA PM show. And we're back on the KYCA PM show. Pat Kuykendall here with the with veterans and school folks. and it's a great conversation. So let's go ahead and finish up, Stitch, some more of the things you're doing, and then let's hear about the program and the ride that you guys got going on.
Okay. So let me go straight to the ride. This is our second annual ride. This will be a 8-day, 7-night ride. Our furthest destination is Bend, Oregon, which we will be presenting a check to the Central Oregon Veterans Ranch, which is one of 4 of our beneficiaries of our fundraising this year. We have 2 that are local. We have Camp Courage, and we have the Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we are also donating to Project Healing Waters. And we've started our fundraising campaign a few months ago, and we're doing really well, but we're reaching out for those last few bucks before we take off on May 31st to head out on our journey so we can pass these funds out.
And so now, is it too late for people to register for the run, or what is the prerequisites for somebody to go on this ride with you?
It's going to be a little tough because we do have room reservations and things like that, and we're a little more than a week away from it. If anybody was interested in participating, they would need to reach out to the post at Ernest A. Love Post 6 here in Prescott, and they would get a hold of us, and then we would immediately contact them. If they were interested, you've got to have a bike. You've got to have the ability to ride that bike and the ability to be able to partake and understand and appreciate what this ride is going to be all about.
Well, I can fit 2 of the 3. I have a bike, and I know what the ride's about, but I can't ride it.
Yeah,
It's
we're doing like 400 or 500 miles a
Yeah,
day.
it scares.
Yeah,
It's a big
Was it
old bike.
4
It
the
scares
highest?
me.
I thought there was one day 4.
The average day will be between 350.
Okay, that's still a lot for some people.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And so you're taking donations for this.
We are taking donations
Okay.
for that, correct.
And how could people donate or companies donate if they wanted to either be a sponsor or donate to the cause?
I will refer to Sandra on that.
There you go.
If you go to the American Legion webpage, it's American Legion AZ Prescott.org. And then on the little drop downs, the little 3 lines, you click on that and go to the American Legion Writers. I think it just says ALR.
Right.
You click on that. There's a bar across the page that says donate. And you click on that and you put in your information, you can donate. And we also have QR codes that, I don't know if you have something we can stick it on, but or you can just call us at the post and just leave a message for me. I'm usually there a lot, and I can call you back and tell you I can walk you through it if you're not computer savvy. But we have it that way.
We'll talk to our producer during the break and see if maybe he can come up with a magical QR launch.
Yeah, we have a QR code on. Some of you just paste it to your page or paste it to a. But yeah, they can call us at the post, and we can help them walk it through it because a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people don't like to use codes.
Well, we need people just to come
Right.
in the post and check it out.
Exactly.
Come learn the
Yeah,
history
come
about
into the
Ernest.
post, check it out, and drop a $100 bill. I mean, we'll take it.
Hey, definitely. So we got John Murphy back. Hey, John, can you hear us now?
Yeah, Pat, can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear. Are you on the number 9 tee box at Prescott Lakes, or where are you?
Yeah, well, I'm actually heading out to the farm. We're doing an appreciation for all our volunteers at our homesteading conference last week. And I owed you a call, too. But I am calling specifically to give a big shout-out to the Trinity Christian School Latin Club and their mission. They were a big part of our Rock the Garden Open Golf Tournament a few weeks ago at the club at Prescott Lakes.
Wow, that's great. And that's where I met him at the golf tournament, and I didn't know it was Chief Bonnie's daughter until I saw that big smile and everything, and she was very jovial and, just did a great job. All the kids there were doing a great job promoting their Latin trip.
Well, what we did, Pat, was we had them on hole number 4, if
Right.
you recall, and for $20 a person, so $80 a foursome, we were going to donate a portion of the money raised on that hole to the Trinity Christian Golf Club and the Latin Club for their mission trip. And Scott Lewis and the golf team, they wound up giving all the money that we donated to their mission trip. So I just want to tell you the kids were stellar. They were professional. They learned how to extract $80 from each foursome. They did pretty good.
There you go. Well, no, they did good, and that's what it's all about, the community helping the community, and that's why we're such a charitable community, is because people love to give back, But but people love to hear the stories, and that's the thing we don't tell is the story of the successes or what the plan is, and I think that hurts us sometimes.
Well, these kids are wonderful examples of a bright future for our community. I want to wish them the best. I had the pleasure to present them a check for $1,000.
Nice.
And the other money that we raised is going to go towards gardening education classes at the Prescott Food Forest and Be Organic Farm with the Trinity Christian School. So all their hard work that day turned out to be beneficial to their mission trip and to the students that want to learn how to garden. And I thank you, Pat, for being there, being a part of the whole thing. And I look forward to getting together with you soon. I know we've been playing phone tag like crazy.
Well, that's what we do. Hey, I'm going to put you on the spot. Can I put you on the spot?
Absolutely.
I need a favor for next year's tournament.
Okay.
How about we bring the Patriot Guard riders and the American Legion riders and put them on a tee box and somehow figure out how to get their motorcycles out there?
I would love that. I mean, the theme is called Rock the Garden Open. We have live music. Why not have some motorcycles there?
Okay. You guys heard it. So next year he does a golf tournament at Prescott Lakes called Rock the Garden, and it's about planning and doing things environmental. So next year we'll get together and you guys can put some motorcycles out there and talk about the American Legion and all the great things you do in the community.
We'll bring our e-bikes.
They're bringing their e-bikes.
Yeah, that's a little fun.
There you go. Good deal. So, hey, John, thanks for the call, and you and I will connect soon, and we'll get you on a show. And be safe out there.
Thank you, sir. Good luck, kids.
Thank you.
You got it. So, okay. It's Trinity is in the house.
Trinity Christian School, yes.
Okay.
We're a classical Christian school. We are K through 12 and have about 500 plus students. This next year, our main campus is like 17 and a half acres, and we've got 3 buildings now. We're going to be building the grammar school soon. But our school is also missions focused. So as a Christian school, we have an opportunity and an obligation really to see how we can serve the community by sharing the good news of Jesus Christ. And
Right.
And so we're doing that. We're taking our Latin students. So I teach Latin at Trinity. We teach.
We're going to stop you right there. They're going to sneak in a break on me. So right after this break, we'll be right back on the KYCA PM show. And we're back with the KYCA PM show, talking to Trinity Christian School about an upcoming trip to Italian land, Italy land.
Yeah, so I teach Latin we teach Latin 6th through 10th grade. It's required 6th through 8th, and then in high school students can choose. Reagan here chose to take Latin in high school, which is challenging, but she's definitely a great candidate for that. We offer 2 tracks for Latin, a college prep track and a dual credit. And she's in our dual credit track, so she's earning college credit in my class.
So could I ask her a question in Italian?
Latin. Yes,
Latin.
good.
Italian, Latin.
She
First of all, I don't
Ask her
know
one
any.
in Spanish.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
She can hold her own in the Latin class. We'll do an entire class in spoken Latin, and she can keep the conversation going the entire time.
So Reagan, let's just hear about your career at. You're born and raised here in Prescott.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your mom's the police chief.
Yes, sir.
You're pretty proud of your mom,
Absolutely.
and she's very proud of you. That is awesome. Great family. So now, did you start in the public schools, or have you always went to the Christian schools?
Well, I originally went in kindergarten to Christian Academy of Prescott,
Okay.
but that closed down in 2nd grade.
Mhm.
So that's why I moved to Trinity in 3rd grade. But I love it. I still do, and I always did.
Mhm.
So I love it there so much.
And so you're with the the clubs. Any clubs?
Yeah, I take Latin.
Okay,
there.
so Latin is your only. Now, any sports?
Not for Trinity, but I
Okay.
do play club soccer.
Okay. Here in Prescott?
Mhm.
How did you guys do this year?
Pretty well. Pretty
Okay.
well. Yeah.
Come on, tell us about it. You can't hide.
Okay. Well, I play for RSL currently. We're
Mhm.
moving over to a different club. I think we're moving over to OJB, and we're supposed to go semi-pro by when we're 18. So
And how old are you?
15.
Okay, you got 3 years to be a pro.
Yes, sir.
We'll have to get you your own little card.
Yeah,
your
definitely.
little Reagan card. There you go. So back to this trip that's coming up. You guys have been raising money. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm so excited.
Now, when is it?
It's gonna be March 13th to 23rd, so over our spring break next year.
Wow. And you've already got the agenda? Know what you guys are going to be doing, or is that?
Yeah, we have a really good idea of it.
Wow.
We'll be spending 4 days ministering to a church plant out there, the
Mhm.
Chiesa Evangelica Emmanuel. And the pastor there grew up in Italy. His dad was a church planter, and his grandfather was a church planter. So our students are going to go in for 4 of the 7 days we're going to be in Rome. And they will help out preparing the new church plant for future missions trips to come, helping to prepare things for children's ministry and different activities with the children in the church.
Now, how many students are you taking?
19 students.
Wow.
I know, it's a lot. And they are all raising funds. They have to raise their own funds for this trip. And so they've been doing the golf tournament and
Sure.
other fundraisers. What else are you doing, Reagan, to raise funds?
We've been doing a couple of garage sales, and we've been doing snack attacks at school. So we're going around kind of being a walk-in convenience store in the mornings, I guess.
And then you're also sending out letters to different family members and friends so that they can send in tax-deductible donations that will directly affect specific students or the trip as a whole.
Yes,
That's amazing. How much does each student need to raise?
$4,000.
Okay. Are you getting close?
Not yet.
Okay, well, we're working on it. We
Well,
got a little bit
hopefully
of time.
soon.
We got a
Hopefully
little bit
soon.
of time. Well, I think we could all work on some fundraisers to help you out. I mean, the summer's young.
Yes.
It's coming up.
Definitely.
So, back to you. How long have you been teaching, and what made you decide to go to Trinity Christian?
I've been teaching, well, on and off as a homeschool mom too for probably 25 years. But I learned Latin in my 40s when I was homeschooling and fell in love with the language. So I taught at a school in California, and I was invited out here because the Trinity Christian here is very much like my old school. And I fell in love with the community. I fell in love with the school. It is just it's an amazing place to live. It's an amazing place to go to school and work with the students. Really, in a great student body. They're hardworking. And I think that's important, especially at that age in life, is to be able to work hard and play hard, but have a good community where they can have deep, idea-rich discussions. And we have some pretty crazy discussions.
I would imagine, but that's the great thing about this community is having a lot of friends with Prescott Unified and other schools basis. You never hear Prescott Unified people saying, "Oh, that Trinity school or that basis." They're all your friends. Everybody gets along, and the people that are going to basis say, "Hey, I may have been in the public school system, but I've decided to go this because of certain reasons." But everybody gets along. You never hear the bashing or anything. I mean, everybody gets along, and I'm sure there's a lot of collaboration between the unified school district and the private schools, and
and all the kids play in the same, like they play in the sports teams and leagues and club things. So they really get to meet with a lot of different groups that go to different schools. So, and even within our school itself, there are people from a multitude of different churches. So throughout the community.
That's great. Well, we're going to take another break. The phone lines are open, 928-541-1016, and we'll be right back with the KYCA PM show. And we're back with the KYCA PM show. And Reagan, you were holding off on us a little bit. You're a golfer.
Yes, sir.
All right. What's your handicap? Ooh, the tough question. Say it in
Latin.
In Latin.
In Latin. Wow.
Yeah, say it in Latin. That way it confused. You could say, "I'm a scratch golfer."
Oh yeah.
Neschio.
Neschio.
Okay, she's a Nescule golfer. Is that good?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
I don't know.
I know. I'm a new golfer for Trinity, so I'm still kind of figuring everything out.
There you go. Well, then,
Yeah.
golf is fun. It's
Definitely. It really is. It really is.
It's a great thing. So, you a golfer, John?
Nope.
Nope. Just ride motorcycles?
Yep. Don't have time.
You still practicing law at all?
No.
You're done.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah, I hung it up in 06.
There you go. So how does, let's talk about the ALR, the American Legion Riders, and the PGR, the Patriot Guard Riders. How is that collaboration? I mean, it seems like you guys do a lot of events together. However, you do things separately also.
Yeah, well, the PGR, again, is primarily focused on veterans and first responders.
Okay.
And 95% of what we do are funerals.
Okay.
The other 5% is sometimes we'll go to a 100th birthday, do a drive-by for a 100-year-old veteran. Mm-hmm. But primarily it's funerals. Where the ALR, well, Stitch, why don't you talk about the ALR?
Well, the ALR, we started, many years ago. It's been 30, I believe.
Yeah.
But the Patriot Guard Riders actually started through the American Legion Midwest back in 2005, when we had our fallen coming back, and they were not getting recognized the way that they should have been. We didn't want a repeat of Vietnam.
There was a Baptist church in Kansas that was picketing at funerals of veterans, and the Kansas AOR started a PGR chapter to protect the families from those picketers.
Wow, that's amazing. Hey, we have an Army veteran that's on line one. Hey, Stan, welcome to the KYCA PM show. How's it going?
Hey, good. How you doing, Pat?
Doing good. Are you listening on the way home, or?
Heck yeah. Yeah, this is great.
It's the most popular show on KYCA, the third Tuesday.
That's right.
Not really.
Yeah,
I made that up.
Right. Hey, buddy. I tell you, Reagan inspired me. That's why I'm calling. So just left work from the old Better Built, right? So we're now Milgard Windows, where her grandfather worked for many years, and ran with her husband, or with Amy's husband, but former police Brandon, right, Reagan? Your dad from the old days, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're what I remember about Reagan. This is a side story. I know she's raising money here, but I watched her about 5 years ago. Pogo stick from the Kitty Parade, the Kiwanis Kitty Day Parade. Pogo stick all the way down Cortez Street, took a left into the courthouse, and pogoed all the way through. I'm sure it's a Guinness Book of World Record. Or something.
Hey, Stan, maybe we should. That'd be a good fundraiser. She could
Right?
pogo stick from here to the airport in Phoenix, and we'll give her a penny per pogo.
That is for certain. Yeah. Hey, Reagan, first of all, let me tell you, I will contribute to your trip. Just let you know. So let's make sure your mom gets a Venmo account, something, up. But, whatever we can do to help raise, because, you're a tremendous kid, and obviously you're doing tremendous things. And, we love to see our kids really do well in the community. And I love your comment about how we all share in this community. It doesn't matter what school we go to. That's what's unique about Prescott. So,
And Stan, I'll put you on the spot just a second. That was a topic is, again, you're the president of the Prescott Unified School Board, but, there just is no conflict with the private schools or with Prescott Unified. Everybody gets along. They're friends. They hang out. They help each other. They collaborate. And that's such a great thing in our community.
It is. Your mom, Reagan, was a keynote speaker at our National Honor Society induction this last fall, and she's an amazing speaker, as you know. But church, Reagan, you go to Trinity, and your parents both went to PHS, and it's wherever we want to send our kids. We just want to see them all succeed around here, and that's what we have in this community. So, we will support each other. That's just the way we are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got any shout-outs, Stan, before I let you go?
No, I think I've done them all.
Okay.
But,
all right.
Good luck, and let us know. We will spread the word. Okay.
Wow.
Just
Thank you.
make sure your mom and dad's Rolodex gets out there, and we will all contribute. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Hey, were you doing hands-free? Because we don't want you to get pulled over by a Prescott Police Department because you got your phone in your hand.
Hands-free.
Okay.
Yeah, eyes on the 10 and 2, buddy. You betcha.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks,
guys.
Dan. Hey, we're going to take another break. We'll be right back on the KYCA PM show. And we're back with the KYCA PM show. The phone lines are open, 928-541-1016. If you've got a question for the Patriot Guard Riders, the American Legion Post 6, or the Trinity Christian School, give us a call and let's chat. So back to Stitch, you were talking about how the collaboration works. There's so many different entities in the American Legion. So
Absolutely.
whether you actually served or have a family member that served or the auxiliary, can you kind of go through those? Because I know a lot of listeners are wondering, hey, how do I, can I join the American Legion?
Yeah, if your father, grandfather, or mother actually, you can become a son of the American Legion, which again is descendant.
Right.
The auxiliary,
Same thing.
and then naturally you have the legionnaires. And to be an American Legion rider, you have to belong to one of those three organizations to become a rider. So you have to be involved within the post to become a rider with the post.
Wow. And then to be a full member, you would have to have served.
Correct.
Okay.
Be a
Yes,
veteran.
To be a veteran.
To be a true
And
legionnaire.
that's the craziness. I mean, we sit here and look at, I probably get it 3 or 4 times a day. What defines a veteran? Because the VA has something they look at. U.S. Vets defines a veteran a different way. I don't know what the perfect answer of what defines a vet is. Is it 180 days active
Well, for the American
duty?
Legion, it's 1 day active duty and honorable discharge.
Okay.
Yeah, if you've got an honorable discharge, you can join the American Legion. You have your DD 214. Just showing that you were honorably discharged after normally it's a minimum of 2 or 4 years.
Right.
You serve those times, you get out, you can join the American Legion.
Now, what about a general under honorable conditions? Is that
You're
same
entitled
thing?
to be in the
Okay,
American
because it
Legion.
has the honorable. Okay.
Yes.
So that's the great thing is a lot of people look at it as a drinking club, and of course it does have a bar and a banquet facility or a kitchen and everything, but it's so much more. I mean, you guys are always doing stuff for the community. Can you share some of the highlights of things you do across the year to raise money and to help veterans?
Well, this past year we partnered with Bases School. We actually went to the Unified School District here in Prescott. We wanted to, because we don't just do veterans, we
Right.
do children. And so I went to the district office and tried to find a school, and I gave them an application to send all the teachers. What's your wish list? And then they were supposed to send them to me, and we would go through it and see what was in our budget and which wish list we could fulfill.
Sure.
And nobody got back to me.
Okay. Well,
So-
you just had Stan on.
Exactly.
I'll bet you
Yeah.
Stan gets back with you this year.
Yeah, and because we want to partner with our community, we don't want to just be a drinking club, And
Right.
most of us riders will drink, but we love to serve.
Sure.
And so one of our members was the I forget what her role was at Robin's role at the school. She was
dean.
the dean. She was
Okay.
the dean of the school. So she said, "Well, can our school do it?"
Sure.
And I said, "Sure, why not?" And so she sent it out, and I think 6 teachers came back, and we were able to fill 3 wish lists. One lady had a wish list on Amazon, and we bought everything on that thing. And one of them needed gift cards for a contest they were having. And so what made it really fun was we all rode our bikes in one morning. And the way we went around the school, the kids on the playground and in the classrooms could see us, and they're all at the windows and jumping at the fence. And when we rolled around, those 3 classrooms that we donated to were lined up out front. And they were just excited, and so we presented them with all their gifts because we bought it. We don't want to just give people money anymore. We're
Sure.
tired of giving people money.
Right.
we want to give them material things so that they know that we're here and we want to do it and build that relationship. And so we did that, and then recently one of the students from that school came to us asking for money for I can't remember. Apparently because Basis is it's not a private school, but it's not funded by the state, so they don't have lunches, they don't have a cafeteria, and so they were getting ready for their final exams, and so they wanted to bring in like yoga teachers, and it was something about mindfulness, and to have certain foods, and so they asked for us to donate some money to it. So the riders and the sons it was a young kid. He was obviously challenged a little bit, but he still stood up there. He's a little autistic, I guess, and he just went it out there, and I'd asked him some really hard questions, and he answered them all. His grandfather was with him, and so he answered them, and I said, you know what, I think you're worthy of this, and so we gave him money, and we helped him with that, and so we're trying to find more ways to continue with that school so we can grow the relationship You know, so we've done that.
I bet you I know a Latin teacher that's going to give you her
I
card
know.
before you leave, because
Right.
you have a defined interest right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So Stitch?
Pat, if I could cover real quick though, going back to the community and our veterans, what our ride is doing is we have generated funds for the 4 that I've covered, and we have check presentation on June 6th for Camp Courage in southern Prescott area there. We'll be making a presentation there. Some of our riders will not be there because we're going to be on the ride that matters.
Right.
We've got
Do people know what Camp Courage is? Do you know what Camp Courage is?
Camp
I bet you we
Courage-
learn now.
Camp Courage is the Arizona Burn Foundation.
Right.
They have a camp annually in Prescott, and you've got children between the ages of 4 and 19, and they get a week of camp, and this helps them rehabilitate. The Project Healing Waters, we are affiliated with the Colorado Springs. They deal with PTSD and getting guys out, getting them on the water, getting some fly fishing in, and it just is an amazing healing process for them. And then naturally we have five big brothers, big sisters, who are very, very important to the to our community to get our kids through some rough times.
Right.
And then finally the Central Oregon Veterans Ranch, who also deals with the PTSD issue. So it's a working ranch that helps these veterans work through some of their hard times.
Okay. So
And that's what we're raising money for, and all of our money every dime that we're raising is going directly to these causes. Nothing is going to cover for the cost of the ride or any of the expense of the riders.
okay.
There
So
are
how
no
do
administrative fees. I'm sorry.
Right. No, that's great. And
There's
so how,
always those, right?
sure. And how can people donate again to any of these causes?
They can call us at the American Legion Post, ask for Sandra Tavares, the bar manager, or they can go to AmericanLegionAZPrescott.org, and then on the little 3 lines go to ALR, and there's this white bar going across that says donate to the Ride That Matters. And everything's tax write-off.
There you go. How do they donate to the PGR?
To donate to the PGR, again, none of our members get paid or get reimbursed for their expenses and going to flag lines or funerals,
Right.
or escorts. If they do want to donate to PGR, they can go to azpgr.org. And the same thing, there's a little banner up at the top, says donate, and click on that.
And that's how they donate.
Yep.
Okay, so my new co-host, Reagan, I'm going to let you and your fine teacher close it out, and then you're going to close out the show, Reagan.
Okay.
Okay.
You go ahead.
Oh, okay. So some of the things that I've already told you about, some of the things that we did to fundraise, but there's a lot more things that we really hope to do in the future. So just keep an eye out for that. And we never told you what we're going to do there once we get there. So some of the things that we want to help with the church is to kind of set the stage, kind of prep to help with the next classes that are going to be going to help out with this church plant. Maybe try to start a Latin camp to see if we can do that for some kids to learn the language. Some Bible camps, some sports camps, volleyball, basketball. We've got a bunch of kids in my class that are just amazing at those sports. Art camps too. We have a lot of kids that are great at that and are just amazing people. Games, camps, helping them build new things, helping them clean up, doing some yard work, and maybe some church barbecues.
Very good. And if you wanted to donate to either Reagan or any of the other students, you can do that. You can either call the Trinity Christian School office and they can help that, or you can go to trinitychristianaz.kindfold.com and just earmark it for the Italy STM, short-term mission trip, and put Reagan Bonnie's name or just to the trip in general, and that will go directly to that cause.
Okay. Reagan, you got 30 seconds. Let's close out the show.
Okay.
Talk about putting you on the spot, huh?
Okay, well, just want to say thank you to everybody for donating to anybody here for Latin or for the writers. And we appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for listening.
Okay. Thank you, Reagan. Good job. No, this is fun. Hey, you got an Academy Award coming in. That's good. So, hey, thanks for listening in to the KYCA PM show. We'll be back here the third Tuesday next month. Everybody have a great evening and travel home safely.